Hey, Mike Jackson here from Best of Tetons in beautiful Jackson Hole, Wyoming. You know, Lightroom Classic is loaded with quite a few tools that we use all the time, and then within those tools and features, there are little hidden gems that maybe you aren't using now, and this is what these little videos are all about. There's about 4 or 5 of them at least right now. I'll be adding more, and they're just to try to show you how to speed up your workflow without doing a whole lot different than you're already doing. So check those out, and I hope you enjoy this one. In this short video, I want to show you a few of the features and the tools that you use to straighten images like this one, a little bit crooked, even though I shot on tripod and I probably had the virtual level or some kind of a spirit level or bubble level on. It looks like it's still a little bit off, and it looks like everything kind of wants to tilt to the right and the water wants to run off the side. I still have a few spots I need to clean up and so forth, but across the board what I want to show you is that even with all the tools, sometimes they don't look right, even if maybe they are. So one of the options here in the crop tool, if you go up under this tool right here, that's the crop tool. Shortcut is R. And one of the options in Lightroom in the crop tool is just to hit the auto button. And in this case, it did a pretty good job. And I have options of how to straighten this manually or visually, and I'll show you on another one that's a little bit more apparent what's going on. So if I tried hitting auto on this one, it really didn't help me. It's actually what made it worse. And so I don't really use auto very often. And the alternative is to use a couple of the measuring tools. This is called the crop straightener, the straighten tool, I guess it is. You click on that, you can click on a point, drag across something that you know is level, and it will level based on that line. And I found that to be a fairly good tool. I'll Control Z that one, Command Z. Another minor variation of using that straighten tool is you can be in the crop mode. I've got, crop is turned on. If I hold the Command or the Control key down, and it will automatically put that little tool in there, that straightening tool on the screen. Click one time, click the second time, and voila, it does the very same thing. So that's an option, just saves a step if you want to use that. And let me re-straighten that, and we'll do another one. Now if you were to just go down into the lower corner or any of the corners and rotate a little bit, you can adjust visually here. But the alternative that I like to do is I go up under tools and I go to tool overlay and then put on auto show. Now when I do that, you'll see that it puts a grid down for me, and if you look left and right on the kind of the horizon line, you can see I've got a grid line that's pretty close to it, and it's fairly level, so when I let go it looks straight. Even if the countryside is slightly downhill one side or the other, and Jackson Hole Valley actually goes downhill to from north to south. That's where the rivers flow, goes through the Palisades Reservoir, so we're always going downhill a little bit, but visually kind of want to have it level when you print it on the wall here. The other alternative, and it's pretty similar, is you can use this angle slider, and I find it to be a little too coarse for me. I'd rather use the other alternatives, but you can do it. Slide left and right, and it does the same thing. Grid comes up, and can visually use the guidelines to help you out. So that all works fairly well. But like I say, the one I use the most is the one down here. I like to just make it look right in the screen relative to the grid lines, and carry on. That's usually one of the very first things I do, is try to get the horizon straight, and then from there, I have options as far as cropping and things like that. So and then eventually I jump right into it, and I'm looking around going, well, I don't want my horizon line quite at the center. I'll bring the horizon line down a little bit, a third, a third, a third kind of a thing. And I got a third of the sky, a third across the middle, and a third down below. It's not quite exactly thirds, but it doesn't really matter. But it's not dead center, that's the main thing. And I'm ready to start actually working on the image at this point. I worked on this image the other day, and I did a kind of a creative edit on it. I tilted it some, and I cropped in pretty tight, And across the board I might like that. I can save it and export it out, or I can make a virtual copy. All those kind of options available to me. But if I just decide I really don't like that that whole edit, then one of the options would be to go use the Command Z a couple of times to get back to where I want to go, or I can go down to the history and step back a little ways. But if one of the options would be to go to reset the whole image, if I click that one, that brings the whole image with all the edits, the color edits, and all those kind of things I did to it. It resets everything. Well, I don't really want to do that, so I'm going to Control Z or Command Z that one back out. And instead, I'll just go back up to the crop tool, and you can see the option right here. And this one has a panel, and most of the panels do have this reset, and it resets only this section. And now I'm back to the original crop with all the color edits and creative edits I did on that part of it. I hope this short video helps you, and check out some of these other ones you'll see on the screen here. Just look for them in my YouTube channel, and hopefully they will also